Yo, what's up you guys? So seeing as this is my first YouTube video, I just want to give you guys some background on who I am and where I come from. My name is Armand Nel. I come from South Africa, Pretoria, and I am a biochemistry and physiology student at the University of Northwest in Potchefstroom to be exact. So yeah, seeing as this is my first video, I thought I would start by discussing a very interesting story that happened to me in my life. So I started using anabolics the first time back in grade 12 in matric in high school. I wouldn't recommend for anyone else to be starting at that young age. Maybe take your time first, learn your body and so on. But I am glad for the way all the things turned out. I feel like everything happens for a reason. But yeah, let me not waste time any further. So back in the day, I got one of my first gear sponsorships in 2017. And I must say, the underground lab scene in South Africa isn't really that bad, to be quite frank. We have some very well-known lab names in South Africa, and most of them are quite large companies, so the quality isn't too bad. However, I did have one or two extremely bad experiences with one company in general, which I won't be calling out, but yeah, for those of you who know me, you would probably know who I am referring to, as it was also my first gear sponsor, like I said. So yeah, if I can cut to the first story that happened to me is I intended on using growth hormone back in the day for the first time, and I remember each time I would start injecting the growth hormone in the mornings, I would get nauseous, and I didn't really understand why, seeing as this isn't really a normal side effect of growth hormone. Even though growth hormone may lower your blood sugar at times, and you may feel lightheaded and so on, I don't feel like the nausea was normal. So yeah, I continued using the growth hormone, and after a while I started noticing, listen, I'm getting darker. My skin is literally getting darker. I was getting worried because I literally got like dark marks here at the bottom of my eyes, and I couldn't understand what was going on. And as I kept using it, I realized after a while, but listen, this growth hormone that you got wasn't really growth hormone. It was obviously melanotan, and it was they probably use melanotan in some companies instead of growth hormone to save money. But obviously when your skin gets darker, you know something isn't right. But yeah, so this is the one reason I would never recommend using that lab. I won't be calling them out, but yeah, the people who do know me know I'm with HD Labs at the moment, and I must say I haven't had one single problem with HD Labs in the past, and that's a very rare experience for me to not have any single problem whatsoever. But yeah, here comes the second and more horrifying story that I did experience, and this is something everybody out there should be careful for. So seeing as it's quite easy to get an infection when using anabolics that wasn't treated in a sterile environment, I used, I believe it was Train Ace back in the day, but I used the Train Ace for the first time, and I remember getting a red lump from it, and I didn't really think much of it, seeing as I've had experienced lumps in the past from other brands, so I didn't really make a big scene of it. So experience has learned me now that always to have some or certain types of antibiotics on standby, just in case. That could have saved me a lot of trouble. But yeah, I ended up in a hospital due to this lab's oils that weren't properly treated in a sterile environment. So I ended up in the hospital with an abscess. Ended up staying the night there for 2 nights there, to be honest. Ended up staying 2 nights there, and it wasn't a fun experience whatsoever. So if I can warn people to watch out for some of the black market labs, I would definitely do that. So funny enough story, seeing as this was prior to COVID times. I believe it was a year before COVID, and I was in hospital in Mossel Bay. And in Mossel Bay, for the psychiatric patients, they don't have a different ward than for the actual normal patients. So I remember spending the night with an old guy that kept speaking to himself while there wasn't really someone speaking back to him. So I literally got placed in the loony bin for 2 days, and yeah, it was an awful experience. I remember them putting a syringe in my glute just to literally pump water into that area, but obviously sterilized water, just to drain the abscess. I also went for an operation to drain the abscess, obviously. But yeah, if you can, always try and get pharmaceutical grade anabolics, and try and steer away from the black lab anabolics. However, if you have a trusted black market source and you know it's not going to cause any problems, like myself, I haven't experienced any problems with HD labs whatsoever in the past 3 years that I've been with them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to my next video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And seeing as this was my first time on camera for YouTube purposes, I wasn't really that let's say comfortable in front of the camera, but yeah, I'll be bringing out some more informative content in the future, really to try and educate you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a lovely night.